impressed the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into more important issues. It is Sunday, February 3rd. Tennessee gets another win over South Carolina and a convincing win. I mean, you can't ask for a ton more from that basketball team than they gave on Saturday. First half, maybe a little turnover prone. I meant to pull the amount. We'll get into that when we recap the South Carolina game, but 2 over them on the season. Games you should win, teams you should beat. It feels good. Before we get into and we've got some more to talk about as well. We've got Jumbotron, SEC basketball, as well as previewing Mississippi State this week. What's your overall? I know you were a little excited after that win over A&M. Things were kind of going right in your mind. You were feeling better. Did this give you more? Were there some things you were disappointed with in the game that maybe made you more hesitant?
I think they found something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a couple games in a row, but it seems like that comeback against Texas that fell short sparked this team. And I think somebody said it after the Texas game. I don't know who it was. I'd give them credit, but they're like, I think they said that's the best thing that happened to Tennessee, and I don't necessarily disagree.
Or if we all did. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think we've lost your sound, unfortunately. I don't know what's happened here. We will wait for Landon to go in. I know earlier before the last few games, he's talked about how he feels like there was a shift in the offensive. I think that's what he was diving into. The offensive side of the game with this final, 3 or 4 minutes of the Texas game, where Tennessee's offense finally seemed to click. And it's looked a lot better, obviously, against A&M. And then that win over South Carolina was convincing. You score 81 points against a quality defense. I think everyone kind of discussed how that defense was that South Carolina defense was stingy in the first half, especially. Tennessee also gave them plenty of turnover opportunities, but still offensively, I mean, not a much better output than they've had since before that run at Texas. Have we gotten you back, Landon?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Wait for you. I can't hear you, Joe. I don't know if you can hear him. It may be me. If you want to send me a message or hop in here and tell me. I'm not sure if it's me or Landon there. Let's see. Yeah, it must be.
I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? Well, now he lost his sound altogether, I feel like. I am not sure what's happening. Caleb is in a new place, so maybe that has something to do with it. Kind of what he was talking about is Mississippi State, and he asked me kind of what I thought about it, or not Mississippi State, I'm sorry, South Carolina, and has this, there was some sort of shift with this team. And yeah, it seems like the comeback at Texas that fell short was that exact, something clicked. And I think a lot of it is Josiah Jordan James. Hasn't shot well, shot well against Florida. He shot well against South Carolina previously. And, he just had 3 really good, consistent games. And maybe not 3 all around, but especially that time. Joe, if you want to get in here, you're more than welcome to. While Caleb kind of fix that. Yeah, that second half of Texas, somebody said it on Twitter, and I don't remember who it was, but I would give them credit if I knew. Some clicked, and they said that was the best thing that to happen to Tennessee was they figured out who they are offensively, and I think they have something with Zakai Ziegler as well. Really, just coming in and being a spark, and he's used some during the first half, but it just seems that whatever it is in the second half, he just takes off. So they're shooting the ball better, and the offense seems to be clicking. They're hitting open shots. It seems like they're more aggressive offensively, getting to the rim, and it's kind of all hands on deck, rebounding the basketball. Like they're not a great rebounding team. I think they lack in some size and lack in some aggressiveness in the post, but their guards have just done a phenomenal job of just picking up that slack. And Josiah Jordan James is part of that. At one point, I think Vescovi was our top rebounder, which is pretty sad. But like I said, it's all hands on deck, and they seem to have found something offensively, and hopefully it's able to just keep rolling because, I've said this kind of the whole season. If Tennessee's able to shoot the basketball the way their defense plays, they're going to be a tough out, not in and not out.
Yeah. One, I can't. If my signal's awful, I was telling Landon, I'm on literally the most prehistoric computer ever. I can even see that it's got like my black lines like squeezed in. I don't know what it looks like on the other end, but it's absolutely awful.
It looks like you're on like a phone almost.
I'm literally on it's a MacBook, but it's like this thing's been to hell and back. Half the keys are missing, so don't ask me to type anything. My other laptop's just totally messed up. Anyway, I feel like it's a problem that like we talked about like throughout the season was that even if some teams might come in and not have as much skill as us, we just don't seem to click in all aspects that would make a team really be able to accelerate. And I feel like we're getting to a point where it actually looks like they're able to do that. Like at least go out there and feel like it's a little bit more of a team aspect. And it seems like people know their roles and where they need to be and how to be most efficient to score the most points and to be the best on defense and just to make everything work. And so hopefully cross your fingers that seems to be on an uptick and can steadily stay that way and not plummet back down. But I've liked what I've seen the past couple of games after, obviously, like you said, that Texas might have snapped something.
Yeah, because Texas, we've said it throughout the whole season, Santi's our best player.
Yeah.
But if you just watch these last 3 games, you wouldn't think that. And maybe that's something that, I don't know if the coaches challenged Tennessee or what, but, he's getting some help and he doesn't have to go out and score 18 or 20 a game for you to have a chance to win.
Exactly.
You're getting it from Josiah Jordan James. Olivier is playing better. I know he went out with an ankle injury, but he's been playing better. Fulkerson played well in his spot when he didn't return to the game yesterday. And then again, Zakai Ziegler, man, there's something about that number 5 jersey at Tennessee that just, I don't know, it holds a special place in our heart with Chris Lofton, Admiral Schofield. And now you're adding this kid who, is not going to be a one and done. Is probably going to be here for 4 years. And everybody else in the SEC is absolutely going to hate it because I'm sure he talks. I know you saw him tickle the nose of Tyree Appleby at Florida. He's 5'9". He's fast as all get out. So you're not blowing by him. And, he's just going to be – he's tough. And his mental makeup is insane. We saw the article from Mike Wilson about him, riding the subway on the way home from school and stuff like that. I mean, it just usually you see that freshman just kind of a little timid, a little scared to make a mistake. Maybe the game's too fast for him, but he's just coming in full head of steam, and it doesn't seem to bother him at all. And he's able to. I think the past 4 games he scored in double figures, and they just figured something out with him and this lineup that he's able to come off the bench and not miss a beat and sometimes maybe give Tennessee a boost, accelerate it.
Yeah. So I didn't even get to watch at least the first bit of the game. I was out bettering my community. I was fixing some playground. I took one for the team, and even though
nice. Good for you, man.
But I saw Zakai, like I was checking in on it, and I saw Zakai, only had so many points, I think, in the first half. I don't remember what point it was in the game when I checked in, but I think he only had like 4 points at that point, I'm pretty sure. And I remember saying something like, oh, like Zakai, like just maybe like the rest of the team's picking it up, because I was getting a little worried about it. And then I checked back in like later once we left. I was like, okay, there we go. 4 for 5 from 3 and finished with 18 points. I was like, that feels a little bit better. I feel like he went on a hot streak.
Yeah, matched his career high in points that he had against North Carolina, and at one point he scored, I think, 10 straight points for Tennessee. He had 2 big threes, and I think a couple twos after that. And that was that second half. I mean, like Caleb was saying, the first half, there was, and I think South Carolina was maybe hitting some shots they don't necessarily make a ton, and they just couldn't keep up in the second half. It was, we kept running it, and they could only make those shots for one half. It wasn't extending into the second half, so it was nice, man. I had fun watching it. Getting the sweep, I'll go ahead and get the broom out, because that's what we do. Is I thought I wouldn't get this out until baseball season, but I'm glad to get it out during basketball season. And man, we're having fun. 5 straight SEC wins. You got a chance to beat a Mississippi State team at home, where you're 12-0 on the season, so you're feeling good about your chances. And I mean, watch out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't want to like put too much faith in this team, because they've showed us that they can absolutely disappoint us, but it seems like we found something.
You have a little more glimmer of hope for the Kentucky game, especially it being in Thompson. You're going to have a little bit more energy going into that one.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that we should go out there and beat them, but like, I mean, we've had their number the past couple of years. Like, we shouldn't be scared. This Kentucky team's good, and I think they are one of the best teams in the country. But the way we're playing right now, people should be scared of us too.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think honestly,
doesn't want any part of Zakai. I'll tell them that right now.
Kentucky's probably going to be a little laid back and be in the situation.
I mean, the SEC is crazy. I mean, you got Auburn, who almost lost to freaking Georgia. Georgia almost had 2 wins against Alabama and Auburn. And they're not a great basketball team. And then you got Kentucky, who's played well. And, I know this season hasn't been exactly what we hoped it would be, but we're sitting right here tied for 3rd in the SEC.
Yeah. Yeah, no complaints. I know I definitely have my fair share of, maybe things to say or moments during
we've been critical for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've been there. We've been at those points. But overall, I mean, you're sitting in a good spot, and I think you're right. I think if we've already gone through the ones that are gonna frustrate me the most, and we're on the uptick, okay, I can deal with it.
Caleb, he's back.
I don't know what everything's supposed to be. We'll see.
I don't think we got him back. I think it's still cutting out.
I can see. I can hear him.
This is insane.
I can be a middleman the whole time, and I'll just say it back and forth.
We got a translator here, sort of. I don't know what you'd call it.
Okay, I can hear him now. It's just like his video's delayed from his talking.
Let me see if I get out of here, if that cleans things up at all.
You back?
I'll just blame it on Joe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. I mean, it's better. I can hear you. It's just not in rhythm with your video. But hey, we're here. Technology, gotta love it.
Yeah, just gotta go with what you take what you can get. So we'll roll with it there. I know y'all were kind of talking about the back half though. It's going to take a lot better play than even what we've seen that they played better. It's still going to take better play, in my opinion. It isn't Thompson. That's good news.
Yeah, against Mississippi State, is that what you're talking about, or Kentucky?
Well, I was saying you all were kind of talking about those teams that you've already played and the few you have left in the back half. So, and I think y'all said, Kentucky's beatable for Tennessee, and I certainly believe that. I just think it's still going to take better basketball than what we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these wins, Tennessee. I mean, Texas A&M, South Carolina, Florida. I mean, even LSU hasn't looked good as of late. Um, Vanderbilt. I mean, those aren't the games that you can just bank on Tennessee being a really good team in the tournament, but you do have to win those games. And Tennessee's been doing that lately. And like I was telling Joe, it just seems like Tennessee's found something offensively that hopefully they're able to keep that train rolling because I mean, Josiah Jordan James, Olivier, they're able to keep playing like that. I know Olivier is probably dealing with an ankle injury. I think Rick Barnes kind of said it was just his ankle. He should be fine, but didn't really have a update. Probably will have one tomorrow during his press conference with the media. So, but yeah, those guys, really stepping up. I thought Kenny Chandler played well. Only had 11 points, but 10 rebounds and minimized the turnovers and only had one. I think it just seems like the game. I don't. It's just not as fast as you. It's not. It seems to have slowed down for Kenny Chandler a little bit in these last couple of games. And Zakai Ziegler, I mean, he's a dog. He's the Juwan Jennings. I mean, I'm the thousandth person that said that, but he is. You love him.
He's definitely brought a lot. I think, and I think too, Jordan James played lately. His confidence is actually his play. I think maybe not being quite as confident. Skills been there. And Jordan's been too confident. And I think both of them are balancing out now. That's taking what he should be taking. He's been confident. He's still confident. He's making the shot. He's always been, and he's a bit more aggressive. But also, he's opportunities he should take where he maybe look for, and he's looked for passes when he needs to look for passes. I think it's just starting to balance out for him. So maybe slow it down. I'm sure that's but he's a lot better basketball. We know we're not going to get front court, so kind of stuff out of
Yeah, and I was something else that hasn't really been magnifying a little bit is 13 to 14 from the free throw line. I mean that's winning basketball. That's getting points you should get. That's being aggressive and getting to the line. And that's up until recently, Tennessee hasn't really done that. Hasn't shot well from the free throw line, and we've even said. I think Caleb's going to hop out and see if he can get that fixed real quick. Yeah, that's something that Tennessee needed to fix, and we've even said that hey, if they don't get that fixed, it's going to lose or you're going to lose some games because of it. And I think Texas maybe. I forget what we shot at Texas. I'm sure it wasn't good because nothing seemed to go in until the final little bit at Texas. But man, I'm excited. I know Caleb said you're going to have to play better basketball, and I agree. But I think Tennessee's playing good basketball right now, and they're winning. They're getting guys that usually aren't going to see the floor in a close game, getting those guys some run like Adu and Jamon Meshack and Quentin DeBunji. Guys are probably going to be in this program for a while, so it's good to see those guys get in the game. Brock Jancic had some points. Love that. Love to see him. It seems like he's been at Tennessee for as long as Fulkerson has. See him get some points is really cool. So, and I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, we should finish out above 500. If we don't, then we'll not be excited. But I'm good. I'm optimally. What's the word? Optimistically. I don't know. What am I thinking of?
You're very optimistic.
I'm like cautiously optimistic. That's what it is.
Okay. Okay.
I'm very excited, but I'm not going to do what I always do, where I'm like, this team's back on. Because I mean, I feel like a month ago, I was saying this team I'm not going to be excited for in March because we'll probably end up with a round of 32 exit. But now
You got 2 feet in, but you got an arm out. Like
yeah, exactly. I'm ready to get back out.
Yeah, you don't have that. You're holding on.
Yeah,
they're pulling you back in, but you're holding on. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mississippi State a little bit. Got some size with Tolu Smith, I think is how you say it. I think he's only played in 9 games, but he's been super effective in the games that he's been in. And then Garrison Brooks, who is the transfer from North Carolina, they both average 6.6 rebounds per game. So I think it is going to be a challenge for Tennessee in the paint. Again, this game is in Thompson Bowling, so got to lock our chances that we're 12-0 there. Iverson Molinar, one of the best guards in the SEC, one of the best scorers in the SEC. And they kind of go as he goes. And I think that was Tennessee a couple weeks ago with Vescovi. If he's scoring 20, 25 points, hey, we got a chance to win. If he's scoring 10, we're getting blown out. And that's kind of what we've seen from Mississippi State. If he has a really good game, they usually come out on top or at least have a chance to win. They went to overtime with Kentucky a couple weeks ago. And then if he has a bad game, they're not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is what it is. You take him out of the game, he's 6'3", so he's going to be a little bit bigger than some of our guards, but our guards aren't scared of anybody. Maybe you put Josiah Jordan James on him, or maybe you do some switching, see if Zakai can get in his head a little bit. Josiah Jordan James use that length and size against him. Kenny Chandler is also a really good defender. So, just throw some different combinations at him and see what you got. And hopefully you're able to kind of cause him some problems a little bit and, crash the boards. Again, I was saying it earlier, it takes everybody. And it has taken everybody this season. So you definitely got to get in the boards with some of those bigs. I think Tolu Smith is 6'11", and Garrison Brooks is 6'9". So got some length. Some big bodies down there that definitely going to need everybody to chip in and get those rebounds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be the same thing as always. You can't have one player that they're going to let. I feel like we typically love to let that one player have that game, and then we're like, oh, but everyone else doesn't whatever. But Molinar, you're going to have to really make sure that either capitalize on foul trouble or definitely be able to do some good film and make sure that they can understand how they're going to be able to shut him down, because you're right. That's a dangerous situation where that could get ugly real quick if we let that slip.
Yeah, and they're coming off a loss to Arkansas. They lost by 8. I think they got outscored in like the last couple minutes, 10-3. So that was a really close game going into the final minutes of it. So yeah, I think this is a good basketball team in Mississippi State. They got a big transfer with Garrison Brooks, and they got a scorer in Molinar that can make things difficult. So hopefully that place is rocking. I think that's on Wednesday night. It's at 9:00 tip-off. That's so stupid, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, they're sitting kind of right behind you in that 5th spot in the SEC. So Mississippi State's 0-5 on the road. So there's you a stat. Let's make it 0-6.
Isn't the game in Starkville against Mississippi State, right?
Oh, it is in Starkville?
I believe so.
I feel like we're always on the road. I mean, I know we've played some at home, but it just seems like all the big games are on the road.
Yeah, because then 9:00's 8:00, just still.
Dang. So it is in Starkville. Yeah, they're 12-1 at home. So they feel really comfortable on the home on their home court, as do we. So yeah, I got to go steal one.
Yeah,
Mississippi. If you ever been to Mississippi, it's a terrible state. I don't know why it's a state. It's horrible.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would choose to live there.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, Wednesday at 9. Ugh, ESPN 2.
I don't know, but I don't. For some reason, it feels like a game that Tennessee like. I feel like those are Tennessee's favorite games to like have like a unnecessarily like decent like couple like 2 players in 20-point range or
Yeah.
60% from 3. I don't know. Those are the games that always get the vibe. Like away games at 9 p.m. Like whether it's freaking Vandy or any game like that.
Well, that dunk that Schofield had on Mississippi State a couple years ago, I mean, they should have shut down the whole program.
They
I
should
mean,
have.
good God.
I remember that.
Talking about catching a body.
Put it on a poster. I think that was probably still one of the most underrated too, because I mean I saw it on like ESPN stuff, but it wasn't like widely for how bad his. I mean that was straight groin to face action. I mean he put him on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was the most dirty thing I've ever seen. But.
And then Grant on the sideline just made it so much better with him acting like he was passing out.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Who impressed you on Saturday? Let's get into that.
I mean, no shocker that Sky Zico is always going to impress. I mean, he's basically, hopefully, a constant impress. But I feel like Josiah Jordan-James, just was able to. I mean, I know we talk about sometimes we're frustrated with his inability to take the right shots or get in there and get the rebounds that he needs. But he had 6 rebounds, finished in the 20s. He was 4 of 9 from 3. I mean, he took a bunch of threes, but he made some threes. If he was 1, 2 of 9, different story. But I feel like he's definitely got a little more confident in those shots. He's been able to find some spots around the key that he feels like he can knock down that 3-pointer. And so I feel like that was definitely at least a factor for me that if he can stay consistent in that, that's going to be a huge addition to what we're trying to build, and that makes us more consistent.
Yeah, and he's filling up the stat sheet too. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 20 points. Efficient from the field. I mean, that's being the 5-star he should have been.
Yeah.
You know, I know some of it's we talked about it on the show. It's like he would been a couple weeks ago. He had been 4 for 9 from 3 and 4 for 9 from the field. Like he wasn't taking any more shots out. You know, inside of that 3-point line. So, really good to see him just be more confident, like you said, and in his home state of South Carolina, had 33 friends and family members at the game. So I had to get some teammates to cough up some of those friends and family tickets so he could get everybody in there. So really cool for him to get his career high and have the game that he did in his home state against the Gamecocks. Which is Frank Martin done? Their fan base is not happy.
No. Can you be? I mean, no matter what sport you're dealing with, I don't think that you're.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he did take South Carolina to a Final Four, but they had no business being in the Final Four. That team is not good. So, I mean, they were good, but they weren't Final Four good. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. And I think, you know, depending on what Tennessee does in March, I think Tennessee fans are gonna kind of be on the fence about Rick Barnes.
Yeah, that's certainly a truth. I've never said anything in regards to firing Rick Barnes ever, especially during a game. I swear on it. But but you know, like once you cool down and actually take some time. I mean, like obviously we love Rick, and it might be frustrated sometimes, and obviously it's someone that you just go to when you're pissed at the team for playing a certain way. But you're right. I think it's going to depend on how it plays out. If we get to the point where we're like, okay, awesome, like it feels like we can consistently have a chance at doing well, but once we get there, we choke or we don't perform as well as we wish we could. You have to kind of take a step and be like, okay, well, what do we want to do from here in terms of assess talent, recruiting, and all a bunch of different aspects. But I don't know. I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to talk about it. I hope we, you know, just have a good March, whether you win it all or not. You know, I don't necessarily think this team wins it all. Actually, I don't think that. But I do think you should at least make things like you should win your first round game. Don't lose in the first round. Second round, you see who you got. You know, if you play a good game and still lose, I think people are going to be unhappy about it. But, you know, I don't know. Is this team a Sweet 16 team right now? I don't know. I mean, I think they're a top 25, and I think they could be on the verge of a Sweet 16. but I don't know. They have a bad game like Oregon State. You run Loyola Chicago. You run into the Cinderella team pretty much every year. Is that going to be the same thing this year? But again, like get over the hump.
Yeah.
Like, people are tired of losing in March the way that with the talent Tennessee's had. So
Exactly. I mean, obviously, we play all season to get to March and to be able to not just say, okay, awesome, win the tournament, and we've got 5, 6 seed. That's awesome. But if we keep getting put up against these Cinderella teams like you talk, I mean, last year was just pathetic to watch. Like it was like, oh, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. It's just it's so frustrating when you get to that point, especially in the sport of college basketball, the way it's designed around that kind of mentality of like everyone's building towards March, and when you put up that kind of performance and you're just one of those teams and your bracket's busted because Tennessee likes to screw you over and Ohio State likes to lose in the first round and whatever.
You're not salty at all, though.
No. Damn Asmus for Oral Roberts. Still not over that, but I don't know. I mean, I could see it's really going to depend on who they play. You're right. I mean, I don't think it's a situation where you could say, okay, this is a Sweet 16 team. Again, if we get that team in even round of 32 or 64, that is like surprisingly good. And Tennessee comes in thinking that like we've got a handle on everything and they are able to exploit some of our weaknesses. I think it's going to be a lot harder a game to fight for. But at the same time, I think it's possible to say Tennessee goes out there and dominates the first 2 rounds and we actually go into the Sweet 16 saying, depending on who we got, we have a chance to at least make it to the Elite Eight. But again, it's going to be a step-by-step, play-it-by-ear kind of thing because I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I think with the talent you have, and it seems like Kenny Chandler and Zakai Ziegler, even though they are freshmen, they seem to be getting better each game. Josiah Jordan James seems to be elevating his game. Olivier seems to be getting better. Fulgerson had a good game. I don't think you necessarily have – I think earlier in the season, everybody thought he was going to be your best player, and he's not. But him coming off the bench and giving quality minutes, hitting quality shots, tracking down offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line, that's what we need from John Fulgerson. I think with the talent we have, we don't necessarily need him to go out and score 10 points a game. If he does, great. But I don't think we need that with Tennessee's guard play with Triple J, Santi, Muscovy, Zakai Ziegler. I think he got plenty of scoring. But I think post play is where that's where they're lacking. And they play better. They have. I think that stretch where Urosh was kind of our best post player has come to an end. But if he's able to come in there and give you quality minutes, cool. But Tennessee's going to go as far as their guards takes them.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you're setting yourself up to get that first round bye in the SEC tournament. I think that's big. You got 8 games left. You got Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri, Auburn, Georgia, and Arkansas at home. So I mean, if you lose to the people that you're probably not going to be favored in, that's 3 games.
Yeah, I would say 5 and 3. So
yeah, and I think we should probably take that.
Yeah,
you maybe lose a close one on the road to Arkansas, and then, Auburn and Thompson Bowling Arena. That game's going to be freaking nuts.
Could you imagine pulling that off though?
Whew. I mean, I hope they're still number 1 because that puts a target on their back. I mean, you get everybody's best game. I mean, Georgia, Missouri almost beat them the other night. Then Georgia almost beat them. I mean, they're not necessarily looking like the number 1 team in the country. I know at times they have.
Right.
But man, they I don't know, with their size and everything, I think they have a chance to win it all. I think they have the talent to win it all. But the way they played since they got that number 1 beside their name, it's not been smooth.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's why I posed it, just because it's not something entirely out. If we had there's some other teams honestly that I'd rather not come into Thompson, but that's going to be fun. No matter what the situation is and whatever the point spread is, that place is going to be rowdy, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
What's the details for that game? Is it on what day is it on? Do we know yet?
It's on the 26th. That's Saturday.
Okay. Obviously we know what day, but
wait, is that a Saturday? Yeah, it is.
I guess you could tell me.
Yeah, it's on
I
a
just hope it's not
Saturday.
some.
It doesn't have a
I mean,
time
the
yet.
time's not announced yet. I hope it's not some stupid ass noon game. I mean, I guess on Saturdays it's different, so I don't mind it. Like at least the Saturday vibes are a little different. But give us like a nice little 3:30 evening game, like something to get the crowd pumping. Let a little pregame, little tailgates.
Yeah, for sure.
Make Thompson is just about as rowdy as you can. Just make.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yep. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I think that in the Kentucky game are already sold out. So going to be a rocking crowd in TBA for those big games. So yeah, we'll see. Tennessee's playing good. Let's talk about the rest of the SEC. What about Vanderbilt beating LSU?
Yeah, it like you said, we're all over the place in the SEC, which isn't rare.
Right.
It's interesting, especially seeing some matchups like you said with Georgia and Auburn. I mean, you never know. So I mean, I like where Tennessee stands in it. To be honest, I know that coming into the season, some things Arkansas Arkansas is playing fine. They're playing very well, but I think people expected Arkansas's matchups to be a little better. LSU, obviously, we looked at them when we played them, and we thought LSU is probably going to be contending for those top spots, and they've slid. But
yeah.
But overall, that's why you play it out, and you never know what's going to happen when it comes to the SEC tournament. And if Tennessee can slide up there and be able to get that first round bye, like you said, or be able to stay competitive against the first matchups that you get, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean Vanderbilt, they're not good, but they're not the Vanderbilt that we've seen in the past. I mean, Scottie Pippen Jr. is good. They're good defensively. They have some guys that can hit some shots. They're not, and they did lose Dessou, who I thought was probably their second best player the past couple of years that transferred to Texas, and is kind of just a role player for them. So, yeah, I think it is a different Vanderbilt team. We play them at home, so I'm not really worried about that. But man, teams like LSU, Alabama looks bad.
Yeah.
They lost to Georgia. I mean that I bet on that game, so I'm still salty about that. But yeah, like you said, just kind of all over the place in the SEC with teams beating teams they shouldn't beat. You have Missouri, who's like a 16-point underdog to Auburn, almost knocked them off. I think it was similar for the Georgia game yesterday with Auburn, was a 16-point underdog and almost knocked them off. So yeah, it's interesting, but Tennessee's sitting right there at the top. And you kind of control your own destiny with, I think Kentucky's one game ahead of you. So, you could maybe tie things up with them, maybe be tied for second if able to take care of business with Arkansas and then Kentucky. So, yeah, you could really see Tennessee climb.
The top of the standings. I mean, obviously Auburn's at one point, but then there's everyone's neck and neck right there at that step down, that second bracket, and then obviously there's a little bit of a gap below Tennessee down there as it starts to fall a little bit. But yeah, we don't know how to play out. It's the SEC. It's craziness, it's madness. So who knows what switches in the next however many weeks.
Yeah, Wednesday's a good game to kind of make that gap between Tennessee and Mississippi State. Mississippi State's sitting there right behind you, so let's extend that gap a little bit by getting a win over them. And because then I think that's probably your four that has a first-round bye. Yeah, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think those are the four best teams in the conference.
Seeing the gap there, that's where I would assume it gets cut off. Hopefully, Mississippi State, we can make that gap there, just because that does seem where it seems to be split apart with how many games back they are. I mean, again, it's still close, but if in my mind, if I'm picturing, and even honestly, if you'd asked me several weeks ago, I'd have had my orange goggles on and included Tennessee just for fun. But that's where I picture it being towards the end of the season anyway. So I feel like, that's probably what gearing towards what we'll see. I don't see anybody else coming up and being in the top four. I don't think Florida or anything is going to be able to do that.
No, absolutely not.
Because they suck.
Yeah, they almost got beat by Missouri yesterday, 1-1. Yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, kind of the SEC. It just seems like the SEC is getting better, which is a good thing, I guess. But we're already kind of ahead of the SEC, so or ahead of the rest of the pack. There was Auburn and
Right.
LSU up there, but there was a big gap. It seems like that gap is closing, but it just seems like it's better basketball, not in and not out.
Yeah, it just means more.
It just means more, absolutely. So I guess we're gonna do the Jumbotron, but I guess we'll wait because Caleb's not in here. So I know he was so excited about doing that, so we'll maybe do that another time. But I want to talk about Brian Harsin. Have you read up on all this?
I have not. I've seen things, but I have not deep dive.
So I mean, he's had like 3 offensive coordinators. His defensive coordinator left. They lost they lost a recruit on National Signing Day, so they went negative on National Signing Day. Didn't get anybody, and then lost somebody. And then it comes out. It just seems like they were tired of him anyway. They lose Bo Nix, the transfer portal. Almost lost Tank Bigsby, but I think he got a big NIL deal, so he came back to Auburn. I mean, they just looked like absolute trash until they played well against Alabama, which that always happens. So are we really shocked? And it just seems like it's been a huge mess since he's been there. And then it seems like the fan base is like trying to dig up something. Maybe the media is trying to dig up something to get him out. And it come to find out he's had an affair with his assistant. Her title is assistant to the head coach.
Yeah.
And she was a cheerleader at Boise State when he was there. He hired her at Boise State, and then he hired her at Auburn. So, I mean, I don't know if there's any truth behind it, but it seems like the fan base at Auburn is trying to do everything they can to get his ass out.
Yeah, and then I know I saw that, like, there's obviously 2 sides of it. There's the funny college side that's like, yeah, but look at her. I mean, whatever, like all that stuff. I saw on Twitter there was people like doing like fake protests or whatever was going on outside down there. I mean, last night I just saw a whole bunch of stuff come up on my Twitter, and I was a little confused about it, but I thought it was really funny that some people were just like, hey, I mean, do you blame him? Like stuff like she tweeted something stupid too. I don't remember what it was. I think she was like, I just like to have fun or something like that. Or I'm a likable person or something like totally like just this can't be a free app kind of moment.
God. I didn't see that, but man, I mean, you can't have that. I mean, it's not something that you want to associate your program with, whether you think it's valid or not. But I was talking about that, like, yeah, she's pretty, but like, is it worth to lose your job over?
No, not necessarily at all.
I mean, like, I'm sure there's other girls that are like this one. It shouldn't be the one that cause you to lose your job. Like, she isn't that.
Yeah, it's not. You're right. It's not lose your
job.
She's
at $10 million worth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that plays out. They're skidding though.
Yeah. Very interesting. Hopefully Tennessee's able to get some of those recruits that we lost out to, those junior college guys, Jeffrey Mba, Marquise Gilbert, Keontae Scott, 3 JUCO guys that chose Auburn over Tennessee, but if they lose their coach. What is it? Come to the sip? Come to the sea? I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah. It'd be cool to get kind of raid that recruiting class a little bit. Maybe raid that roster. Get Tank Bigsby in here. I'm all for it. I'm sure Rodney Gardner actually recruited Tank Bigsby because he's from that Georgia area where Rodney Gardner has a lot of ties and stuff. So
let's just get Tank Bigsby on the show, and then we'll talk about it from there.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll hash it out on Twitter.
It's funny. Somebody was like, why don't you get like players on and stuff? And I'm like, I can't pay them nothing.
Yeah, it's not.
Now they think every time they do something, it's for money. Like, sorry. I'd love it. Like, they want to come on, great, but I ain't giving no NIL money. Sorry.
Yeah, that was one thing before NIL. I mean, it's already kind of like tricky to be able to, convince someone to come on for whatever. But nowadays, it's like I remember seeing. Do you know what's Barstool Bench Mob? I guess their college basketball podcast. They're gonna have John Fulkerson on. He like requested like way more money than they expected, and it was like John Fulkerson's like this sweet dude that like you'd expect would just like want to go talk to people, and he like overcharged the shit out of them. So it's like,
Oh, really? That's insane.
I know I heard that, and I was like, oh man, I love Fulkerson. But
And
I don't know.
It's also a weird thing. Like you can't just be flying around in a player's DMs. Like that's borderline creepy. If it's for money, if I'm just like, hey, do you want to come on our? Yeah, that's weird. If you want to hit me up and come on our show, hey, more power to you. But
Right.
and I'll let you do it. But I'm not going to be digging around in current players' DMs. It's just not.
Yeah, I guess it's not an awful thing with NIL. I guess it sets them up the right way for NFL if that's their career they're going to have. But again, you see some of these guys that are like not exactly NFL caliber, and you're like, okay, like don't be. You can still talk to people. I mean, I know you're. There was a good amount of. I think Taven Jackson. I'm sorry if I get clipped on this, but Taven Jackson I think was at the bar, and Zakai Ziegler was at Uptown or something last night downtown, and like. I wasn't there, but all the people that I heard talking about it were like, oh, like they were just in the corner, like with people all around them, making it look like they were like shit. Now, technically, those are two people that I'm like, yeah, you go ahead. But I mean, I've seen people out before that they like walk with the highest might. Like, no, you couldn't charge me to get on that show or whatever. And it's like, okay, you might be a late.
Well, it's a weird like thing, even for coaches. Like they would be like after game, like. You have kids run the bases and stuff like that. Like you can't make a player do that.
Yeah.
For free.
Right.
You can't make them go like, hey, at this camp, we'll sit at a table and y'all sign autographs for 30 minutes. You can't make them do that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I think there's people that's still going to do it because that's just who they are. And Tennessee has a lot of, especially on the baseball team, a lot of that personality that, they just love this fan base and will sign autographs. And I'm sure, Ziegler was doing that at the end of the game the other night. He was signing autographs in the stands and stuff like that. So there's people that's still going to do it. But yeah, it's a weird thing to kind of keep in mind that, they don't have to do any of that.
Yeah. And you hope Tennessee creates that kind of environment. I feel like we've always had a more inviting fan-based family environment. It's not as much, So, I mean, I feel like that's definitely beneficial to the point that, like, you should want to do that. Like, you should feel more inviting to do that because, you've got these 3-year-old, 5-year-old families of people all wearing your jerseys and screaming your name and stuff. And, like, I feel like if I was a player, I would be dying to do all that stuff. But,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, until somebody's, like, paying you $5,000 to come sit at their store and do it, then I'm sure that's it's just different. It's a different conversation. And it's something that, players have to think about. Like, yeah, it's money and I get that, but like, it's also your reputation. Like, do you want the reputation where, you said with the Barstool Bench Mob, that carries him.
Right.
And so the next time they're trying to reach out to somebody or, he does something big and somebody wants to have him on the show, they're not going to reach out to him again.
Well, especially if it's something like, I get if it's like a big signing event or it's like something that's going to take your whole day out of the Saturday or Sunday where you've actually got stuff planned. But if it's just a Zoom visit, meeting, talking for 30 minutes about something, not even 10, 15-minute segment, I mean, I feel like there's got to be a balance there. And I feel like if you're not willing to even do stuff like that, like you're just a little
greedy.
Yourself. It just depends on who you are again and the position you're in. But I don't know. I guess it's up to interpretation on each player and their rights.
Yeah. I mean, you literally have players like getting in the transfer portal just to see if they can get an NIL deal somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy world, man.
I'm assuming. I think it'll settle down eventually. I think the weird part is that with NIL being so new, it's such a big jump into the business realm of sports, jumping into college, and so I think we've talked about it before, but it's very active right now, and people aren't sure the best strategies and ways to do things to everyone's trying to maximize their money, and it's just basically a giant scramble with the way the transfer portal plays out right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, I think things will come down, and people will be able to figure out the best way to do it, and it won't be as confusing as much of a scramble. But I think right now we're in that phase where we're just stuck in that point.
Yeah, there's just no kind of rules or regulations on it.
Yeah.
And I think eventually it'll get to that point, hopefully. But I would not want to be a college coach. I would rather. What's probably the worst job in the NFL? Probably is it the Jags? Jets? Something like that. I'd rather have that job than any college job.
Yeah. You want to be Doug Peterson down in Jacksonville. Well, you don't want to be Miami's coach. Poor Brian Flores. I mean, geez. I'm sure y'all touched on that last week when I wasn't here, but that was a mess.
That was just
That's wild. I think Caleb's actually able to try to get back in here. We're gonna try.
Okay. Yo.
What's up? Sorry, I'm gonna use my phone. Angle maybe
Okay.
maybe funny. So yeah, we'll try on my phone. My computer's not cooperating at all.
Gotcha. All good, man. Good to have you back.
We're here.
It was the perfect weekend. I actually got to see Caleb for the first time in like 2 months, so it was. This couldn't go perfectly, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, and you didn't touch my face like you said, and I even shaved for you, so cleaned up the beard for you. I didn't touch my face.
I think I grazed your beard in the car.
Yeah, you may have. I don't remember. It wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth shaving. Yeah, we were kind of talking about. I don't know. Did you hear what we were talking about?
I caught the end of that. What was that with I missed the Barstool bench mob, whatever happened.
Yeah, apparently they wanted to have John Fulkerson on, and he asked for like a large amount of money to come on, and it was way more than they were going to give him. So they're like, no.
Who posted that?
I don't know. Joe said that. I don't know where. I don't know if it was on their show or.
Interesting.
Joe, where did you hear? Was it on Barstool Bench Mob?
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. Did they say?
Yeah.
Did you hear the amount of money? Like, was it an absurd ask?
I don't. He didn't say the amount of money, but it was way more than they were willing to spend on John Fulkerson.
I just want to. I'm curious. Is it absurd? Is it an absurd amount of money?
I don't know. It's just like Barstool. Like I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, and I get it. Like it's different for me to say that than it is to him. For him to say that. To
be fair, Bench Mob's not that big of a it doesn't have the following that a lot of Barstool does.
Right, but it's still like associated. Like it's something cool that you're probably only going to get to do one time.
Yeah, you're not going to be on the Bench Mob after you're out of college. That's a college basketball podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just weird to me. And like I was telling Joe, it's just weird times. Like I was talking to Zerker last night for the baseball team, and he's like, we could go to a camp, sit at a table, and say, hey, for 30 minutes, y'all are going to sign autographs. He's like, now, like, they don't have to do that.
Right.
Like, they're not getting paid. Like, he's like, we have some guys that are going to do it, but, you can't make them run the bases with kids. You can't make them show up for a youth baseball camp and stuff like that. It's just different. That's why I was telling him, I was like, I'd rather. I think you'll see a lot more coaches, especially if they don't get some regulations on it soon. You'll see a lot of like football coaches go to the NFL. They'd rather be in the NFL than deal with this.
I think that's already been the case. I mean, the time commitment's just drastically different.
Oh yeah, and then you just add another element, another headache. Why would you not?
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting to see any changes, if any, that are made. So.
Yeah. Jumbotron?
Jumbotron, let's do it. Let's get into it.
I told him, I was like, I guess we got to save it for when Caleb can get back on. I guess we'll do another episode, but you're back.
I'm back. Let me so I can pull up mine. Joe, do you have your Jumbotron ready? Are you ready for this debate? I hate using my phone for this. It's yucky. I'm not a fan.
Dude, I don't even know what the topic is, but I'm pretty shifty, so give me anything.
That's fun. I don't think it takes a lot of research. It's so I think you'll be good there two ways. Shifty and it's just fast food fries. Now
okay, so it is that
gonna
topic.
do, yeah. We are gonna do snake draft and no steals. So I have to have a different one. Can only have 3 each. I don't know how we're gonna decide the person. We random number generator. I don't know. Price is Right rules.
One square, the screen order, I guess.
All right. Let's see. How big we going here?
Huh?
How many numbers? 600?
I was thinking like, can you just like spin a wheel or something?
I can spin a wheel. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Wet wheel?
I don't. Yeah, maybe. I don't know where to find a wheel. I can't share my screen either. I'm not on my. Joe, can you share yours right now? Is that possible?
I might be able to. What do you want me to look up?
I know you said your computer was
Prehistoric, yeah.
Yeah. Go to pickerwheel.com.
Pick a wheel.
Picker. Picker.
Picker, I barely know her.
I knew that was coming. Okay, so what? Just each person, I guess?
Yeah, and then just spin that FOB. I won on the one I made, so.
Bias.
I just need that to be known.
I actually found the wheel that they use on. Like I looked up a wheel and I found the exact wheel that they use.
Why didn't you just tell us where to go?
Well, you said you already found it.
I did, but I had to Google it. They just told me.
All right. Let's see. Oh. How do I do this without? I gotta get smart for a second, which is a struggle. Okay, wait. So if I do that,
by the way,
you see that?
Yeah, we got it.
I can't see you guys, so we'll just have to go with it.
Spin it, Alex. That's not Alex. I don't know who's spin it.
All right, it's a bit of aggressive of a spin, but
Why'd it go like 8?
No, wait. Yes.
Oh hell yeah!
Who's number 2? We got to spin for number 2.
Oh, okay, so we're just gonna go like that. All right. I wasn't sure if you want.
I think you can take me out of it too. Do you click?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's see how you want to do this now.
I didn't do the spin when I did it.
Awesome.
But Joe, you get to go twice now.
This is true. Back to back.
All right, I'm gonna go with the easy one. I know it's regional. It's fast food French fries, by the way. I don't know if we had ever said that. Fast food French fries. I know it's kind of a cheap. Me and Landon talked about this because like not everyone's had it, but Pals is easily the best French fries on planet Earth. I mean, there's not even a close second, in my opinion.
I've never had them, so I can't be biased there, but I've heard they're fantastic. So,
you've never had Pals before?
No.
Oh, we gotta go to Pals.
We'll get Pals one day.
I haven't lost my Pals beat card, dude, but I've been yelled at.
Yeah,
I took one of Landon's too. So
now John Fulkerson will never come on our show now because Joe hasn't had Pals.
We're not paying him anyway, so.
I'll go probably one that's maybe a hot take. I'll go Burger King.
Okay. That's not a hot take at all.
I know. I thought it was a hot take until we started talking about it. Turns out everyone loves Burger King. I'm shocked.
I think that's the best thing on their menu.
Fair.
That's fair.
You don't like the 99-cent nuggets? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not good. They're just cheap.
I try not to think about what I'm eating when I eat them because, like, I agree. I think they're good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with Cane's. Cane's crinkle cut fries, dude. Those things hit.
Cane's? I've never had Cane's.
I don't even like Cane's chicken. I like Cane's toast and I like their fries. I don't like their chicken at all.
Okay, how do you feel about their sauce? Because this is the big debate I have.
I don't like it that much.
Okay, it's not as good as Zaxby's. People actually
no, it's not. Like everyone's like, oh, you got to get your cane sauce. I'll be okay without it. I'm not a big.
Cane's is good.
Ooh, we should do sauces next, like and on another show.
Specific sauces too, obviously, like McDonald's sweet and sour.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's a good first round. That's a good lineup.
Yeah. All right. I guess so. It takes back to me. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I feel like most people say it. We're going with Chick-fil-A waffle fries. I don't think they would ever taste as well if they weren't waffle fries. But I if they're not too salty, but when they're made right, those things are hard to beat.
Sometimes I don't get them salty enough. Sometimes I get them like it seems like they put no salt on them.
Yeah. Also, but does it count like just Chick-fil-A sauce beating? I guess technically not being able to dip Chick-fil-A sauce is different.
I still think they're the best.
We have to go raw fries, but I'm gonna go. That's my pick.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
You got them. You got to dip it in Chick-fil-A sauce. Easy.
Yeah, if you couldn't, I mean, it's a game changer. Yeah.
Or is it my turn? Oh,
it's your
crap.
turn. Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and this place I refuse to eat at, but they have really good fries. Arby's.
What? Landon, I have who? What?
What?
We have this whole debate about.
I know. I'm saving that one. I know you're not going to take it, so I can save it
for number 3. That's insane. That's ridiculous. This is
a snake draft. Okay, I'm being strategic in what I'm picking.
Then your argument's invalid.
No, I want the best lineup.
No, but you just put Sonic technically at number 6. No, at number 8 of fries. It makes me right. Yeah,
no, they're not.
Yes.
It's not 8.
You just did that though. You just ranked it number 8.
Well, this is technically incrementally top 3s. So, are they number 2 on his list, or are they?
No, they should have been, but he's putting them at number 3, which is number 8 on the list total.
I mean, he's got a point.
I want the best lineup, okay?
But
you don't go eat.
Nah, that makes my point. Exactly. You're putting Sonic
the
at
number
3,
1 tight
number
end.
8.
I wouldn't pick him until probably the 3rd round.
He's got a point.
But we're drafting all tight ends. We're not drafting anything else.
I'm going Moneyball, man. I want the best. I want the best lineup, and I know you're not going to touch it.
But we're drafting.
It's like if that like. I don't trade up to go get a quarterback in front of somebody that doesn't need a quarterback.
But my point is we're all drafting quarterbacks right now. There's no chicken nuggets involved.
I want the best lineup.
He's saving the best for last.
You're doing that. You are getting the best lineup by putting Sonic at number 8. So I mean, all in all, we agree. I just needed to state that.
You go pick yours, and I'll say my piece with Sonic when I pick next.
I'm gonna have to. I unfortunately had all of my next top, so we agreed with the top ones. Straight. That's pretty solid. So I'll go. I don't like doing this. I don't like Zaxby's where I've got to put it. I feel like it's too high. But McDonald's at my number 2 doesn't feel right. So Zaxby's, then McDonald's at my number 3.
Ugh. Right, my wife loves McDonald's fries too, and I think it tastes like wet. It's like a wet rag.
It's very hit or miss. I won't lie. It's very hit or miss.
The McDonald's?
Yeah.
They're just so damn addicting though. Like I know you're saying like they are hit or miss, but like for some reason, like I'm not even a big friend. Like if I go to a restaurant, I can't finish all my fries like with the meal. But McDonald's French fries, I'll always find myself finishing those. But you're right, they're like sneakily good. I think they throw some in there. They definitely put like.
Well, they have some that's like soggy, and I'm like, and some that are crispy. I'm like, how were these in the same batch?
They weren't. They definitely weren't. They finished the batch off, sat those in the warmer, and then I know what they did. They cheated. But Landon, McDonald's is above Sonic in this. So my point last week was right.
Oh, that's not true at all.
McDonald's is number 7. Sonic is number 8.
No. I just got Sonic for cheaper.
Landon, what's your because it deserved it. What's your number 3, Landon?
I'm saving on that cap space. It's Sonic, dude. Sonic is underrated French fries. People go there for the tots. I get it. Tots are good. But Sonic French fries.
They can be underrated and still be not good.
No. They get a bad rap just because tots. Everybody gets tots because it's something different. But I'm going something different by getting French fries at Sonic. And I feel like it's more food. It's probably not, but I feel like those tots, you have 5 of them and the whole box is gone.
Well, we're exaggerating now, but sure.
You feel that way? You're like, oh crap!
No,
I
I don't.
already finished my last one. Yeah.
I think the tots are plentiful.
Shut up! No, you don't.
I do.
I don't believe you. I've seen you finish your last tot, and you are looking at the bottom to make sure you didn't miss one. Yeah, I know that feeling. Everybody
First off,
does.
your boy always tops off their crumbs. You don't leave a tot crumb behind.
I'm telling you, try the fries.
I love how you're saying that statement like I haven't tried the fries.
Yeah, but you're not giving it a fair shot, is what you're not doing.
I don't eat fries unfairly ever.
Joe, what is your take on Sonic fries? Because Caleb, he's getting older. He's delusional.
I don't know that I've
You're
ever had
older than
Sonic.
me.
He's in a different city than he's usually in. He's just not thinking right now.
Yeah, I don't think I've even ever had Sonic French fries. I'll be totally honest with you.
Ah, see, you gotta try them. Let me know when you try them.
You can't say that to Joe. You can't say that to me. I've had Sonic French fries.
I'll next time I'll try them live on the show and I'll be the deciding factor. I'll give a live.
All right.
Live rate.
What's your number 3? But because I also have a question. Could we have put in Five Guys? Is that technically fast food? I feel like it's not.
No, it's never been fast.
Not.
I've never waited less than like 20 minutes to get my food. So no.
20?
I've never been to Five Guys and had like fast food.
Wow. I mean, it's been like longer than Burger King, but
Really?
I've never been upset with my weight.
Yeah. I've only gone to Knoxville, not just in Knoxville, but the times I've gone to Knoxville, it's every time the same ones. Just takes forever. But yeah, if those counted, those are goated fries. Is it my turn for number 3?
Yeah.
Yep. Number 3 and
All right.
number 9.
I'm going. I have one, but I want an honorable mention just to piss people off that who would ever even know. But so Wendy's is my 3 because I actually love Wendy's fries. But also the Frosty, like, is it fair to assume that like I have them 90% of the time with a Frosty? Like, am I swayed in my opinion? I don't know. But yeah, they're so good. I love dipping my fries in my Frosty.
I can't. I'm not a big Wendy's fan. I'm sorry. I've never dipped my fries in a Frosty. I like Wendy's, just not Wendy's.
That's your fault.
This guy.
Get him out of here.
Get him out.
Well, I also I never get a chocolate Frosty. I only get vanilla. So.
Oh.
What is wrong?
You have to try. All right, so everyone's
delusional.
I've been doing that since I was young. That's not come with age.
Vanilla?
Their vanilla Frosty's delicious.
See, like I'm not even a big chocolate person, but you got to go chocolate Frosty.
Yeah, you can't dip fries.
The best part about vanilla Frosty too is putting your Dr. Pepper, Coke, whatever you have in it, and you get a Coke float, Dr. Pepper float.
Okay, that's fair.
The best.
I'll give you that.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I've had a Coke float. I don't remember the last time I've had a dark soda.
Oh, okay. I mean,
It's probably been
makes
like
sense.
4 years.
What is this dark soda crap? Are you on some kind of TB12 diet?
Yeah, exactly. No, I just since like it's probably been before that. Like I probably had one, but like during college, I don't know. My stomach was just upset all the time, and they're like, try soda, and I was tired all the time. They're like, try to like take out soda, and so like I've had like obviously you got to get Baja Blast when you go to Taco Bell, but anything other than that, like I only usually drink water unless it's alcohol.
Yeah, well, Land, did you ever try soda in college that wasn't mixed with vodka? I mean, like you can't.
Landon didn't drink vodka. Landon never drank vodka.
Yeah, no. I was on a crack, like I'd get like Admiral Nelson and like Coke. I was on that kick for a while, and then I had to stop. It's just
Pretty sure it was
much.
Caleb who told me that Dr. Pepper's cherry flavored, and now I hate Dr. Pepper. He really ruined. I don't hate it, but I love Dr. Pepper, and I hate cherry flavored things. So now every time I have it, I like can taste cherry, and it's so.
I love Dr. Pepper. I'm a fiend. I've had to.
Yeah, Caleb's a big Dr. Pepper guy. He always has been.
But I'm dropping sodas, trying to. So if you see me with a soda, just knock it out of my hand.
Are you really trying to stop?
Yeah, the adrenal. I mean, the bad thing is I hate water. Like I just despise water's existence.
Yeah.
The
Thing is with water, like you never like it.
No.
But it becomes like easier to drink over time.
Oh yeah, and I've always felt like I've drank plenty of water because I drink. I mean, right when I get up and before I go to bed, I drink a bottle of water. Just because I'm going to wake up thirsty as crap, so I try to eliminate that. But then I drink Gatorade. Right now I've been drinking Gatorade, a lot of Gatorade, which it's not as much sugar as a soda, but still a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's how I stopped. I started with Powerade and Gatorade, and then it just went straight water. Because it's still a lot of sugar.
It's still way too much sugar, but it is.
And it dehydrates you. It's just like it's so salty.
Right. And I've been drinking a little bit of sweet tea. Not much of it, but that's helped me cut out sodas. Or if I can get like my nip with the sweet tea, that's good.
Did you say what? Your nip?
Yeah, you get like a nip of like alcohol. You get it, dude. Do you never just want a sip of a Coke ever?
I do get the crave for flavor, and I'll go like buy a Body Armor or something.
Oh, okay.
Or like a Gatorade, but no, I don't really crave it. No.
If I see some like my brothers, if they have a Coke, I'll get a sip of theirs.
I do like a Sprite every night. Like if I'm been sick or like been coughing, I do like a Sprite.
I've never been big into Sprite. I actually had some of one today, half of one maybe, but
yeah,
just because it was the only soda available, I was like, I need a nip.
A nip. I don't like that you call that.
I can't believe you've never heard that term.
I've never heard that. I mean, I've heard nip, but not in that context. No.
Like a nip of whiskey, like.
No.
Okay. All right.
Is that like off of like a bottle, like a bottle nip? Is that what it's trying to?
No, I think it's just like a little amount. I've always heard it said like, if like you're like pulling from like a flask. I feel like
I've heard it in regards to like a nip of whiskey, but I've never taken it out of the realm of like sodas or something.
That's what I feel like. I'm like yesterday. I'm with my brothers, and my brother had a Coke, and I was like, I just need a little bit. I just need a sip. I don't want more than a sip.
Yeah, hey bro, can I waterfall that?
Oh no, it's my brother. I don't need a waterfall. What do you mean? Apparently, it is directly related to whiskey or liquor. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no! It says also a small quantity of something edible or a potent potable liquor is what it says. So,
See, but I've heard nib for food.
Nib, N-I-B.
That's
No,
what I'm
it's
saying.
nib.
Maybe it's
It's
gotten
nib.
switched over.
It's
Maybe
nib,
there's-
N-I-P.
Yeah, like nipple.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, yo.
More important issues after dark.
Yeah. Yeah, things got weird on. When was that? On Thursday?
Thursday. That was fun.
It did get kind of weird in here.
Can you all see me right now?
No.
Okay.
Please
I cut over to see what grab my most importance. So I know we're getting to that point.
I thought I had one. I do have a fail.
Did you all talk about? Did you ever get into the Brian Harston stuff?
Yeah.
I still have that picture of that girl on my phone, so just curious if
I don't have any most importance. It's been a fail week.
you got your full fails.
Full of fails, yes.
I've got Harold Varner. I think it's Harold Varner the third. PGA Tour golfer. They're playing in the Saudi Invitational this week. He had a walk-off eagle. He was down one. So birdie would have tied it. I think he putted it. I think he was off the green. Caddy said it was like 90-something feet. Putted it in for eagle. Walk-off. Won the tournament. Incredible. He also wears Jordans all the time.
Did he do a putt flip?
Did he flip the putter? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he gave just one of those.
Can you do that again, please?
You know what's crazy is it actually looks like insanely like him with the facial features. That's exactly how it does.
Gotcha. He was also wearing purple while doing it, which is pretty impressive in and of itself. So,
Nice.
not a fan of purple, personally.
No?
Not for no. Well, golf's different, I guess. But like football teams, I mean, were you just trying to be ironic? I don't understand.
All purple is one thing, I guess, but there's a hint. There's a nib of purple on the little jersey.
Oh, nib. I don't have any most importance at all.
I guess other than that, the Olympics starting, so screw every other country for the next 2 weeks or whatever it is.
To a lot of people, that's been a fail.
Go USA. Yeah, whatever.
Did you see Shaun White's bedroom?
Do what?
Did you see Shaun White's bedroom at the Olympics?
No. Do they have
It was
those?
so nice.
Are they still having those like cardboard anti-sex beds or whatever they were from the Summer Olympics?
I mean, Shaun White's was nice. His was like a hotel room. Like he had a living room. He had a nice big TV with a like home stand thing.
I thought he retired. Did he not?
Apparently not. Pretty sure he's boarding in these Olympics.
Go for gold, man.
We should
Any
do something
fails?
Like, United States should be way more strict about if you lose. Like you die if you lose or something.
Hunger Games style, baby.
Right.
I actually hate Shaun White, so I'm actually down for how that plays out. But I'm not getting into all that right now. It's the next episode.
Okay. I'm interested now.
I'm interested. Hey, I screenshotted it because I was like, I wonder where this place is. Do y'all know Action 247? It's like the Tennessee specific betting website, like betting company, gaming company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was some sketchy stuff that was happening with them and I think it was Cash Advance maybe a while back. And I was looking today on Action 247. You can cash out your account at a Cash Advance or one of those Cash Advance places. I'm like, is this the look you guys really want? The way people talk about gambling, you all really want to like be associated with a Cash Advance? This is just interesting. Very weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not as weird as I'm making it out to be.
Certainly
Wow.
inconvenient.
My first fail is the commitment graphics. I saw one today on Facebook, and it was a girl that the year that she graduates high school is 2030, and she was committing to her AAU basketball team.
Dude, not to mention the fact that they're posting it in general, but it's always the worst, like, edited, like, random.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Like,
and like, I'm not gonna say like who it is, but like, I'm like, she's committed to an AAU basketball team. She's how old are these? She's 10 years old. Guys, what are we doing?
We're in an announcement world.
I mean, I can't imagine what kind of recruiting process she's going to have when she's in high school. It's going to be like damn Walter Nolan.
yeah, I mean, her commitment better be through the roof. She has to keep upping it each year. So if she starts when she's 10, by the time she's 20 for college, she's.
Yeah, she's going to have 80 commitment graphics by then.
Just to be clear, we're talking about a 10-year-old girl right now, right?
Hey, that's on.
I mean, she didn't post.
No, she didn't post it? That was my question. Who posted it? Dude, why does a 10-year-old have a Twitter account or
Her
an
dad
Instagram?
posted it.
Why is her dad? See,
posted
that's
it.
where I'm like, why is her dad running an account for her? I'm sorry. If you're one of those parents, I'm not a fan of you.
Well, like they have the graphic, and he posted it on his Facebook.
Like, did he repost?
Yeah, I do actually.
Oh,
I think you know these people too.
I probably do now you're saying this. She's 10. That's right. That's correct.
Yeah. My advice is just please do not. That's a bad way to start this whole recruiting thing, basketball thing. That's already too involved for me.
I'm out.
The next one I have is Texas A&M. So Texas Ags, I guess it's like their 247 account maybe, but it was naming all their recruiting class. So they signed the number one wide receiver in Texas, number one defensive lineman in Florida, number one cornerback in Texas, going all through there. The last one is the number one tight end in Sweden. Bro, how many tight ends are in Sweden?
I didn't know they play football in Sweden.
I was like, what? Number one tight end. I mean, I guess put it in there. I was just like, what?
Yeah, that seems like an irrelevant stat because I want to see where that compares to like United States statistics.
Yeah, and he was like a 4-star. I mean, how are you even rated? You're in Sweden. What kind of competition is that? They probably play like 8-man football. They're like
it's
7-on-7. That's all they play.
There's probably one team in Sweden that he was just the starter for.
Yeah.
He was the sole tight end in all of Sweden. So I mean, obviously he was the first.
He was the only tight end in Sweden. And the last one I got is South Carolina. So they did a Gamecock football tweeted in a world ... and it was Shane Beamer and the multiverse of madness. And it's all the guys he got in the transfer portal. The graphic is just so cringe.
Will you send me that graphic as well?
Yeah.
Send me the 10-year-old too.
That's a SEC football coach of the year, so careful.
That is going to be a interesting argument of overrated. Who's more overrated, Heupel or Beamer, this year? Because they both won the same award. You get to start them off at the same even point right now.
Yeah,
My graphics even worse. Out of the more detailed that graphic gets, the worse it is.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like you really want to put Spencer Rattler in the very center? I mean, you're already setting him up for failure because that's what he wants, is to be the center of attention all the time.
I mean, I get if it's a joke, but that they're entirely serious with that.
Did he pose for that picture? I'm out on Beamer. I mean,
Did you get that other graphic, Caleb?
Not yet. Hold on.
That's awesome.
It's so bad.
The 2030.
2030.
Like, 8 years from now. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a DM in like 30 minutes on Twitter.
Oh yeah, somebody like just. Oh well. I mean, I usually like if it's somebody that like I know and stuff, I usually leave it alone. But I cannot leave that alone. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be like Caleb with whoever it was that DM'd him. Who was that?
Dude, he's a great follow, by the way. I've enjoyed following him. What was his name? I meant to tell him. I meant to be like, hey, dude, by the way, I followed you as a joke. And I've really enjoyed this. Thanks for the ride.
Wait, who?
Bud? The guy canceled.
Oh, God, who was that?
Bud Elliott.
Bud Elliott.
He's 247. Yeah, he's a good follow. Enjoyed it.
So, Caleb, what'd you think about it?
I'm not responding to that. So.
All right. Anybody else got any fails?
I don't.
I've got streakers, man. Streakers are down bad this weekend after Nottingham Forest and Leicester City. Did y'all see that video? The streaker comes out after Nottingham scores a goal and just starts throwing haymakers at him. One of the players with their back turned, and then he gets pummeled by the security guard and the players, but just comes out swinging.
Was he naked?
Well, no, I just feel like calling it streakers, right?
Oh, okay. So he was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's streaking across the field, but he wasn't naked.
There's so many friendly streakers out there, and this guy's he just wants to see the world burn.
He's the one ruining it for everybody else.
Exactly.
I enjoy watching it.
He gives streakers a bad rap.
Yeah.
90% of streakers just want to bring happiness for a split second to a football game.
Yeah.
And then he's out here just madness.
That's what we should do for losing fantasy football. They have to run across like a Smokies game. They have to run across the outfield.
Would they even try to tackle you at one of those?
Probably not. They'd probably just
kind of let you go.
Yeah, probably just find you and be
Probably
like, "You're just never coming back."
Yeah, I think that's a terrible fantasy football punishment. You get banned from a game like that. That would suck.
But you do it right before that they move, and so then
they lose the records in the move.
Yeah.
No, but if you
they
get
lose pictures and everything.
Banned from the stadium, you're golden. You're right. Next week, you're right there when
you're back.
Terrible.
Did
idea.
you see? I saw one where a kid got long fake nails, and he had to go out in public and he was trying to order on a iPad or something, and he couldn't do it with the nails. It was hilarious.
I feel like I'm too old now for fan. Sitting or watching one of my friends sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours 4 years ago would have been hilarious. Now, that's just miserable.
All right, guys. Well,
hey, before we leave, did you see Billy Football's 72-ounce steak challenge? I think I can do it. It's in Amarillo, Texas. I think I can do it.
Can you?
I think so.
I saw that thing.
72-ounce steak?
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do that. I always think I could do all of them because I love to eat insanely, but I feel like once you actually get, I don't know.
I've eaten a lot of steak. I think it was an hour. That's what would get me is the time.
Yeah.
But I could be close. I've never eaten steak over the course of more than an hour, but I've eaten a lot of steak. Not 72 ounces, mind you, so that's fair. it would be close. But I think I'd have a chance.
I did a 24-inch cheesesteak in less than 15 minutes. Like, I feel like I should really take it. Like, I want to see like where my limits are because I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong career. Maybe competitive eating is what my future life.
What's the Krispy Kreme challenge? We've never done it. We should do it. Is it 24 donuts in X amount of minutes or what?
Oh God.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but Krispy Kreme, those are the easiest things. They're like the lightest, airiest donuts ever.
Oh yeah.
But you would feel miserable.
Oh yeah. That's like what?
Like a hangover. It'd be the next morning. That'd be the worst part. I
10,000 calories.
that night.
Yeah, that would be rough.
I want to see us do it. We talked about this one night, Landon. I think you said you can do it. So
I think I don't know. Again, I'm getting old, dude. I don't know if I can do that stuff anymore. One thing I feel like I could eat 2 large pizzas in one sitting.
oh my gosh, the Krispy Kreme challenge, the real one. There's a website.
Yeah, I'm looking at
donuts in 5 miles in 1 hour, and I could not do that right now. Almost
5 miles in an hour?
Yeah.
Hell no.
With your 12 donuts.
Okay, that's the thing. 5 miles in 1 hour is like one thing, but then where do you split up the donuts? While you run, do you just do a donut per like 2 donuts per mile?
I think I just make sure I'm in good shape.
I don't think I could do 5 miles. Period. Not even I don't think I could run 5 miles right now.
I couldn't run 5 miles right now. I could not. If I get to the point I can run 5 miles like I used to, like even just 2 years ago, I would run the 5 miles and then I would eat the donuts right after.
Yes. You eat them before you're done. You're gonna be sloshing around. You're gonna feel like shit, obviously.
Yeah.
Even during.
I wonder if you have to eat so many along the way, or if you can wait until the end.
This is a real thing, apparently. So. Wow.
Interesting.
Awesome. There's a shop. There's a shop and everything. They got a little merchandise shop for the donut challenge. So.
There you go.
What's easier, the Krispy Kreme challenge or the Milk Mile?
Oh,
is that the gallon of milk?
I think it's just like a pint. I think it's a lap pint. So you have to drink the pint after every lap. So it's four laps, obviously, and then a pint in between each lap.
Oh no! You throw up that milk easily.
I feel like regular milk. I feel like would be a lot harder than chocolate milk, and I don't know why.
It's true.
Like I feel like I could maybe do chocolate milk. Just thinking about it right now, but I don't think if it came out to it, I probably couldn't do it. But
maybe it's because you have a little flavor. I feel like it's heavier though.
Yeah, it seems more obtainable.
Well, I'm more likely to chug chocolate milk than I am normal milk. So
yeah, that's true.
Yes. What are the beer miles more likely for me? Try that one first.
There we go.
For the milk.
Ugh. All right, guys. Well, anything else?
I'm good. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for listening. We'll be back. I guess Thursday, Caleb will not be here. I guess it'll be me and Joe. We will talk about that game against Mississippi State in Starkville. If you're going to that, good luck. Mississippi State is a terrible place. Starkville is just terrible in general, and then the whole state is just, oh, God. Guys, that's all we got. Wait, what?
Have you been to Starkville?
I have, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
When I go for work, I'm in Tupelo,
Gotcha.
and that's a crap hole too. So, guys, that's all we got. Again, thanks for listening. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.